Yes, people, welcome back to another video on Thai Sports. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe because it's been confirmed that here we go. That Hugo Ekitike will be joining Liverpool for £69 million from Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, for me, already for this signing, tick, 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 tick. Now it's on Hugo Ekitike to deliver for Liverpool. It's simple as that, really. Liverpool need a striker. Darwin Núñez has not worked out. Mo Salah staying, Luis Diaz potentially leaving, Cody Gakpo obviously still here, Diogo Jota, of course, RIP. Now they need reinforcements. And Liverpool have turned their attention to Bundesliga in Florian Wirtz for 110, 115 million, and now Hugo Ekitike for 69 million. That is nearly 180, 190 million on two players. Big investments at brilliant ages that are going to come in and try and help Liverpool not just win the title, defend the title, which I've said to people is so hard to do. Liverpool have not defended the title ever in their history, I believe, in the Premier League era, of course. And I think even previously going back in terms of the Football League Championship back then. Liverpool will be looking to do that and make history. And this year will be difficult. It will be challenging because Arne Slot's now in his second season and teams like Man City, like Arsenal, potentially Chelsea are improving. They're all investing. But Liverpool are investing. And this signing for me ticks a lot of boxes. If people don't know, Hugo Ekitike, 20 to 23 years of age, 23 now, just turned 23. And he is a player that comes with excitement. This is a player that I believe is going to work at Liverpool Football Club. He's got the overall package of a striker. And I think, look, we all know, people, that the striker market is quite dense right now. Other than Victor Osimhen, that's not going to go to Liverpool or probably not going to move to the Premier League. You look at strikers, and whoever you buy at a football club is all going to have question marks. Chelsea, Liam Delap, young potential, done well at Ipswich. What will he do at Chelsea? Yao Pedro, we know that he's got the talent. Can he do it consistently? You look at Manchester United, got Brian and Bruno and Cunha, not strikers, but they want a striker. Who would that be? Arsenal were looking to get Victor Gyökeres. We know that he scored abundance amount of goals in Portugal, but will he do the same in England? There are question marks with strikers right now in professional football. Dusan Vlahovic, them type of players, go to Juve, not quite worked out. You know what I mean? When you look at it now, Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea signed last year, does well as a football player, but really misses a lot of chances. So whoever you sign as a striker, when you're looking at all these football clubs, is going to have an asterisk by their name, and it's on the player and their team to come together and deliver. And when you look at it, what we're going to do before we analyze Hugo Ekitike is, as a football fan, so Liverpool fans watching this video, when you think about a striker you'd want at your football club, other than Alexander Isak, who is proven in the Premier League, probably the best all-round striker in world football right now, who would you want outside of that? I think a lot of people will say this name if you've watched him, because when you look at the strikers that Liverpool want and have been successful with over the years, it's not just an out-and-out number 9. Exactly what we're talking about when it comes to, Darwin Núñez, for example, not great all-round game. You want a striker like a Luis Suarez. You want someone like a Roberto Firmino that can do well in terms of facilitating play, bringing others into the game, holding the ball up, not just scoring 30 goals a season. You want an all-round, fully fledged striker. I feel like that's what Liverpool work with. They don't care about a number 9 that's just going to get goals. They want someone that makes the team better, makes the team tick. And Firmino was the perfect example of that. And then you go to Darwin Núñez, who's a different profile, and it just isn't the same. It just isn't hitting. And now you're going back to someone that can score goals, but can do the other side of the game. And this is why I think this signing for Liverpool is really going to work. The first example we're going to look at here for Hugo Ekitike is the goal against Tottenham. Now, for me, that goal was a brilliant goal. If anyone saw it, this goal was in the Europa League quarterfinal. And for me, I just thought, this player is exactly the type of player Liverpool are going to have in them transition moments. In them transition moments, he is the type of player you're going to see coming in off the left onto the right foot, and he can strike a ball into the back of the net. We've seen Cody Gakpo do this quite a lot of times. But we've also seen that Cody Gakpo can play as a striker as well. And I think what's going to help is them two can maybe play together. They can maybe, rotate at times, you could say, especially when Liverpool, when you look at them, they have a lot of goals that they break from corners or they're hitting teams fast on the break. I know they're patient in the build up now and a bit more, reserved, but they do still have their moments where they're so quick in transition. Salah, Jota last season, we saw it. And when you look at Hugo Ekitike, he's a type of player that is still quick and mobile for how tall he is. He can dribble, he's fast, he can take on a player. There's been many times I've watched him at Frankfurt get the ball on the halfway line and just run with it and kick it and run. And this goal here against Spurs, he actually picks up the ball from deep inside the Spurs half and he runs with it and travels before coming in onto his right foot, as we can see here, and lashing the ball into the bottom corner. That is the type of finish and the type of execution I have seen with Cody Gakpo. And Cody Gakpo is another player that's on the rise, by the way. He's only going to get better. So when you look at Hugo Ekitike here, I already think I see moments of Cody Gakpo in him, but also that really helps Cody Gakpo because then he can play up front at times and be making the forward runs. It doesn't mean that they have to stick to their position. It can give teams chaos. They can get confused. Who's going to be picking up the ball on the left? Is it Gakpo? Is it Ekitike? Because I believe them two are going to start for Liverpool because Arne Slot's a fan of Gakpo and Ekitike is the big money buyer coming in from Frankfurt. So I already like this, the way he's got the experience against the Premier League team in a quarterfinal over 2 legs. But his goal against Spurs was exciting. It was something that I was like, if he does that in the Premier League, fans are going to be getting their bums off their seats. They are going to be looking at Liverpool like, okay, they've got a problem striker. And I think that's what Ekitike does bring. I think he brings a lot of positives to his game that I do think that are going to help Liverpool, especially with the consistency of players like Mohamed Salah, for example, that, they don't want to be relying on him to just bring the goals. We've seen that Mohamed Salah actually in recent years has become more of a creative player as well, I would say. I think Mo Salah has become a bit more unselfish. He's got a better with his intelligence, his IQ. And I think that's going to really help Liverpool. And I think there's another example here, which I'm going to look at for Hugo Ekitike. And this one for me is, I think when I look at it, one that I'm not going to say stands out the most, but when I look at him and what he can do for Liverpool, I feel like a lot of their players get in these positions, but they don't quite take their chances. And I think Hugo Ekitike can. Here, running beyond the defender. This gives me Darwin Núñez vibes, 100%. On the shoulder of the defender, getting sipped in down the line. And it's like Darwin Núñez, does he either cut the ball back or does he shoot for goal? And a lot of the times, Darwin Núñez would aim to shoot for goal until he got maybe very unconfident, should we say. But Hugo Ekitike could find himself in these situations. And last year, 15 goals in the Bundesliga, 8 assists in 33 or 34 games. I think he played a lot of games for them, never got injured really. When you look at it, if he can finish a lot of these chances, that can easily be an extra 10 goals in the league because he will get himself in these moments a lot. Mark my words, I'm going to see Hugo Ekitike in this moment a lot. And I think he's got the intelligence and the IQ to make the right decision. I really do. I think he's got the intelligence and the IQ to make the right decision. And if he can do that with his pace, because he can get beyond the defender, he has got the ability to make it stretch and stretch the pitch. I think this is going to be a position that we're going to see Hugo Ekitike in a lot, and he's going to be able to bury it. Whereas Darwin Núñez, unfortunately, he couldn't bury the ball. Another example I'm going to use as well. And so I'm going through a few of these images, but I just think I want to show just a few highlights of what I believe Hugo Ekitike can bring when it comes to Liverpool Football Club wholeheartedly. I just think they're in a position right now where they've been looking for a striker like this that can, do a bit of the all-round game, run the channels. And again, this is why I come to this example. Running the channels, stretching the pitch, giving Liverpool an out ball, but with technical security. How many times have we seen Darwin Núñez in 1v1 duels like this and maybe ushered off the ball, or the ball goes out for a throw-in, or he's not being able to hold it up and find his man? This is a perfect way to release Liverpool, maybe if they're under pressure, or maybe they're trying to hit teams on the break and have got a ball down the line. Because what we see with this ball down the line is Salah could be on the right-hand side and making a dart inside, giving him a pass option. You're going to have Gakpo coming in from the other side. You're going to have maybe Ryan Gravenberch using his box-to-box legs and getting forward. I think Hugo Ekitike gives Liverpool a great outball here, especially when they're breaking from corners and so forth, which is seen so much. And I mentioned earlier in the video, but he's got the technical ability to get the ball, hold it up, bring others into play, or the ability to take on a player. And I think that's what's exciting for Liverpool. They're not going to be getting in these positions and thinking what's going to happen with the ball. I believe Hugo Ekitike is going to be able to use the ball wisely, bring the basic fundamentals into play, and keep the ball for Liverpool. And that's where Salah, Diaz, if he's still at the club, Gakpo, Gravenberch, they can make them, even Curtis Jones, who's very good at making them runs forward. They can bring them runs into play, make it effective. I just really am excited by this move. I just don't see how it potentially doesn't work. I think there's one example here that I want to look at in terms of Hugo Ekitike, and I think it's his overall play here. The last one, the sort of, what can you do in the middle of the pitch? This one's going to be important for Liverpool as well, because I think this is where Darwin Núñez probably has a lot of his turnovers in terms of the hold up, getting the ball in the middle of the play, surrounded by players. Hugo Ekitike, for me, is very good in tight positions. He's very good at maneuvering himself out of space. Even though he's tall and he's rangy, his speed and dribbling ability is very good for someone of his size. And I think now, if he can use that ball there, get it out to the left wing back, it might be Kirkes bombing forward. Get it out to the right, it might be Frimpong bombing forward. Then they can deliver crosses into the box. If they can get Salah, they can get Gakpo, they can get Gravenberch arriving late into the box. It's another weapon for Liverpool. I think they need someone as well that is going to be comfortable getting the ball in central areas and saying, right, can you keep the ball? Because we know Liverpool at home, when they're building up patiently, that's going to be fine. But there's going to be big away games where they might have to suffer at times, not have the ball. And when you get your ball to the focal man, which is going to be Hugo Ekitike up front, can he hold it? Can he resist defenders? Can he dribble out of space and allow you a few seconds just to get a bit of respite and get the ball up the pitch? I believe he will be able to do that. So when I'm looking at Hugo Ekitike, the only thing I don't know if he's going to be great at, as tall as he is, how good he is in the air. If you had to ask me for a basic fundamental of what I want to see more from him or more from him improving, it's him in the air. Because I think for a tall player, he's very good technically, very good with the ball at his feet. But if Liverpool are putting crosses into the box, can he get on the end of them? Can he score goals like that? Can he improve his game on that? 100% yes, because he's a young striker that's only going to get better. But when we're looking at what Liverpool need in terms of overall profile, he literally gives them much more than what Darwin Núñez can. Because he can dribble off the left, come inside and shoot. He can rotate with Gakpo in that forward and left wing role. He can hold up the play centrally, bring others into play. He can dribble from deep. He can score goals, and he's quick and can sit on the last shoulder of the defender. He's got a really good overall package that makes him a great substitute to Alexander Isak that was going to cost 125 million plus. Yes, he's the number one. Yes, he's the go-to. Yes, he wanted him. But look, if Newcastle sold Alexander Isak, they were going to go for Hugo Ekitike. So it says a lot about what Newcastle like in a player. And let's not disrespect Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe knows his football. Newcastle get quite a lot of their signings right. Joe Linton's come good in time. Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali. Obviously signing Alexander Isak. They've now gone for Elanga, Livramento, Sven Botman. The list goes on of how many signings in time they've got right, and now it's fully fleshed starters. So if Newcastle were going to go for this player, but they didn't want to sell Isak and for the price Liverpool didn't want to pay, then go and get the player that Newcastle were looking for, because they obviously see similarities, and I do too. So I think this signing is going to be really, really good for Liverpool Football Club. Darwin Núñez is probably going to leave the football club now. Luis Diaz, his future's up in the air. Liverpool potentially need maybe one more attacker, but they've got Florian Wirtz now that can float across the front three. And they've now got Hugo Ekitike that I think at 23 years of age is only going to get better. World Cup year coming up as well. He's going to want to improve and perform to get in that France squad. I can't see, look, every striker, like I said earlier, is going to come with a question mark by their name, but I can only talk on what striker that team is signing and if I think it's the right profile for them. And Liverpool, I think you've got the right profile. Out of all the strikers that potentially are available on the market, I think you've got the right profile. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe for more. And I will see you on the other side. Bless up.